Hey guys, how you all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. So this is our evening Bitcoin wrap up. So we're gonna go straight over to the charts here. So firstly, we've got the 15-minute DMT, which did tick into a buy trade when we got over here, but this was obviously over the halving madness. So we're gonna kind of wait to see how we settle down in this area before we decide whether DMT is gonna be a long or a short. So it will be a sell if you obviously break below the sell line, and then also if you break above the buy line, which is a white line here, then we will use that to activate the buy trade again. And then the same, well, not the same with the Dominator. Dominator has turned to buy now, so this is in a buy trade, and then we're ignoring the rest of these bits here. Yeah, obviously the halving's thrown a bit of a spanner in the wrench TA wise, but now that we are putting that behind us, hopefully things can stabilize into the fact that we can just trade the markets more based off the technicals, rather than any craziness that is going on with just halving related things. So yeah, that's the DMT and Dominator. Yes, over to our range and stop for today. So again, this here is the larger time frame Dominator, so we weren't necessarily looking at this so much. We were just kind of looking for the buys and sells based on here. So today you can see we've got the sell trade around here. So as you guys know, with the range and stop, you want to at least try and wait for the top of the range to sell, either the higher time frame or the smaller time frame, which we didn't really get. It would have been up to you guys whether you wanted to preempt a short trade and get in early. You could have got in early with a tighter stop, but what would have triggered the short trade, in my view, would be if you saw the stock markets take the big dump that they did into the close. If you just want to look here, and yeah, it's still going. This is a pretty big move on the stock markets. This is the 1 hour time frame. Incidentally, we topped on a 1 hour 9, so, and a 1 hour 9 there, 1 hour 9 there, so 9 there, that was a 9 as well, 8, 9, and then obviously turned down. So make of that what you will, but yeah, this is one of my favorite reversal indicators. These indicators, this trading style, this trading pattern, this is a momentum style. So this is sort of looking at when we are gaining upwards momentum, and then the levels that around that range to trade. But obviously this is more of a finding actual reversals in the trend on large time frames. So yeah, range and stop, and then obviously we got a buy trade here, but the market was pretty elevated there, so it was a difficult one to trade, which just looks to the fact we've still got high volatility from the halving. So the only trades that I actually took today were the shorts when I saw stock markets getting absolutely whacked, and then I think I was selling just under 8,900, and we pretty quickly came down to below 8,800. So it was a quick scalp. What I am very impressed with though, is how, bearing in mind the crazy volatility we've had, and this is a lot of volatility for stock markets. I mean, you can just see from this 4 hour chart. I mean, where is the last 4 hour candle like this? I mean, if we just sort of go back, maybe this one here. So we are looking the 7th of April, so nearly over a month ago that we had a candle like this. So maybe this one here actually. So again, that's exactly a month ago today. So this is it, and this candle's still printing. This moved literally. This candle's got quite a while left to play. It's only recently started moving. So yeah, that's something to definitely think about there. But yeah, that's sort of why I jumped in the trade. But what I'm trying to say to you guys is that if the stock markets are making this sort of a move and Bitcoin is still hanging in here now, actually above 8,800, it is showing that it is showing initially some good signs of strength. So maybe that excess supply that's not coming into the market now because of the halving is playing on investors' minds and hodlers' minds. What I would also say is that, I mean, anybody that's dealt with Bitcoin and Coinbase and transferring money, you kind of know there's a delay with the money going over. So I definitely know that there has been a lot more interest in Bitcoin from people that aren't normally as interested in Bitcoin due to the halving. And that was only yesterday, the halving. So I would say the next 2 to 3 days would be money that people have transferred to exchanges such as Coinbase to buy Bitcoin with, that will be trickling over and potentially supporting the price. So I mean, I would obviously wait maybe 3 or 4 days. This one thing I'm doing is waiting 3 or 4 days, then maybe look for like a big move down, because I don't feel like we're going to do it whilst we've got all this spot buying of Bitcoin in the market potentially at the moment, potentially drip feeding over the next few days. But also, if you're one of these people that transferred Bitcoin over and transferred fiat over to try and buy Bitcoin, you never have to buy everything in one go. Dollar cost averaging is the single best strategy for somebody that isn't a professional or full-time trader. You just get an average of the price over time, and that's better than just trying to jump in at one particular price at one particular time, especially since Bitcoin is quite elevated at the moment compared to what it has been recently. So yeah, we're going to look at our levels. I mean, just show you one here. I mean, just look, guys. Look, we've been in a constant uptrend here, a constant uptrend from down here. So there's nothing to say we can't, touch this mid-range, around. Why is that saying? Oh, right. It's a bit confused, isn't it? How it's 8,000. Look at that thing. That's clearly not 8,000. But yeah, this around 7,000 mark might be a good zone to buy. So you could buy some. You could buy some around where we are now, around 9,000, around 7,000, around 6,000. I mean, put some orders in. Don't necessarily jump all in now. That's not a financial advice. Dollar cost averaging, it probably isn't something a financial advisor will tell you anyway. But yeah, that's what I would suggest to do. But yeah, back to our boxes, our game of boxes, our game of levels. I mean, you can clearly see, I did say this morning, I think potentially we're going to try and make a move up to the top at least 9,100 area. We didn't get far off it. We got to, well, nearly 9,000, didn't we? We didn't get far off at all today. Was this today? 1 hour chart? Yeah, of course it was today. Yeah, it's today. So we didn't get too far off. But yeah, so maybe a test round up there, maybe break through, maybe play around in this area, and then we've got to decide, do we have the strength to break onwards and upwards, or are we gonna use that as the momentum to then blast us down? So we'll have to see what happens. But again, it's a game of levels. It's a game of levels, guys. I keep saying that. It's a game of horizontals. But yeah, so I mean, I think we'll play around this zone. We're gonna either break up or down. If we do break down, I think we then will have a larger time frame momentum bearish trend to bring us down at least to hit this level here. So around the mid 7,000s before we can then potentially make a move up. But then you'd have to be cognizant of the fact we'll be looking a bit like a head and shoulders there, but they don't have to play out. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to show you guys regarding Bitcoin. So again, this does worry me though for Bitcoin's price, but like I said, if Bitcoin stays strong, then that's obviously bodes well for Bitcoin. What I do definitely remember though, when we had our first initial stock market dumps and Bitcoin was still hanging around over 10,000, I was thinking the same thing. Now this is really good. Bitcoin's holding in really well, and stock markets are coming off a lot. This is good, good for Bitcoin, good for a decoupling. But then obviously we know what happened afterwards. We got absolutely hammered down, and we just basically played catch up and some. Catch up and then catch up and then catch up again, then catch up again, basically. So overall, again, that's what I'm kind of looking at. I mean, you would hope the halving and that reduced amount of supply, as long as the hash rate stays up, is a bona fide positive for Bitcoin. But it will remain to see whether we are going to test lower now. But like I said, in my opinion, we've still got spot buying trickling over to say Coinbase and things like that, just from new retail people. Maybe not loads of them, but that that will be holding up the price a little bit for the time being. And then I suspect that will dwindle off and then potentially get slammed into, which is not good. But this is just the ruthless market. I mean, Bitcoin is a wild west of a market. This is. I mean, these moves. I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I was going to say, compared to these moves in the stock market, this move in the stock market here, from here to here, is basically 3%. Whereas if we look to some of these moves in Bitcoin, this 1 hour candle here, bear in mind that's a 4 hour S&P candle, this move here is 15%. So that just puts things into a bit of perspective there for you guys. But anyway, so remember, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I will speak to you guys tomorrow.